Hello, and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
Chess. Hello?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, how do we do this?
Yeah, this is a podcast.
It is? What?
Yeah.
Okay, so today we will be covering a couple chapters from, what are we reading? A Feast for Crows.
I was gonna say that, like, wait, is that the previous one? My brain fog is real today.
Yes. Us every time we record for some reason.
It's because it's at the end of the day after work.
Yeah, true. Alright, so today we will be covering chapter 37, Brienne, and hopefully chapter 38, Jaime.
Lannister. Huh?
Is there another Jaime?
In case you didn't know. Lannister.
But before we do that, what are we drinking today, Jess?
Red rose.
Wed woes?
Yeah.
Wed
woes.
I'm drinking a beer.
Wow,
And a Coke
that's not
Zero.
tea.
It's too hot to drink fucking tea right now.
You're right. It is.
You're in like a basement, so it's cooler, I imagine.
Yeah. I have like 2 heating pads on heat.
What?
Yeah.
Are you actually that cold?
Nope. I'm in pain. And a lot of it.
Oh. Got it.
I'm sweating, but tea is tea.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's hot.
The tea?
Yeah.
I actually just bought some period panties and period swimwear.
Oh shit, tell me about it when you use them.
I will.
Give me updates. So I've been thinking about it, but unsure of the cleanup.
Right. Because I imagine you can only like wear it for one day and then you need to wash it immediately.
Yeah, like no letting it sit. Like it's gotta be rinsed out ASAP.
Yeah. But anyway, the period swimwear thing I like just found out was a thing and kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, what? Is that like a padded panty for the swimwear?
Yeah, it's just like swim bottoms that have like an absorbent padded part in the bottom.
Wow, I don't think I'd ever be ballsy enough to attempt that. How does it not soak through?
Yeah, I mean, apparently it works though.
Give me an update on that.
I will. It's exciting for me because I can't really swim when I'm on my period, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast at all, and I might cut this whole thing out, who knows. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wear tampons because I get symptoms of toxic shock syndrome like immediately after putting in a tampon.
Your body says no.
I guess. I don't know. It's weird. But it's been very unfortunate for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like can't ever go swimming when I'm on my period, and
Yep.
now though, if this is like a thing that actually works, that's super excited, and I won't have to like literally try and plan things around my period like that.
Yeah.
uh
Because that's a pain in the ass.
yeah, and when you're like planning a trip to like Mexico or something, and it's like I might be on my period, so I won't be able to swim, which is literally like the whole point of this like all-inclusive that I'm going to. So
What a buzzkill. Going on vacation and you have to freaking be on your period?
which always happens to me.
I'm getting scared
cursed.
that I might be for the Ren Fair. Oh my god.
Oh, that would be so miserable.
Bad.
I
And
think
then we'll be
last
able
year
to
I was.
drink. Oh no.
I think I was like on the tail end of it though, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I want to drink. I want to try those drinks.
Oh, you can't drink when you're in your period?
Because I'm taking heavy pills. And
Oh.
I've tried drinking while on them, and it's fucked me up real
Oh.
bad. I get really sick.
Well, don't do that.
I don't want to. I've learned my lesson. It took me 2 times to learn my lesson, too.
Maybe the alcohol will be enough of a painkiller.
Down it. Pressed out.
Oh, well. I hope it's not too bad.
I'll live. I'm used to it. Done this for a while.
So unfair, right?
It sucks. I don't want this. I unsubscribe. Yeah.
Alright, so now that we're done talking about periods.
Done bitching about being girls.
Shall we talk
Get
about
Brienne
now? No, just kidding. It's a callback to last episode.
Yeah, completely derailed with poo.
Let's stay on the rails this time. Okay, chapter 37 is Brienne. Wait, hold on.
I'll give the what happened last time.
Yeah. Where did we leave?
Brienne. At the Quiet Isle, Brienne learned that the salt pans have been burnt down, that the Hound is dead, and that he was traveling with Arya and not Sansa.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Jaime, he arrived at River Run, where Sir Edmure is being forced to stand at the...
Gallows?
Is it called the... Oh my god, I wrote barrows, and I'm like, that is not right.
No, that's not.
He was being forced to stand at the gallows all day. Jaime sends a messenger to the Blackfish to meet the next morning. Jaime and his aunt visit, where his aunt tells him that she is scared of Tywin's true son. And it is not him.
The gasp.
Aight.
Chapter 37 is Brienne.
Yeah. Do you hear Bonnie?
I do.
Oh, okay. She's just mad that I'm not taking her outside. So she's throwing a little tantrum.
She likes to go outside?
Yeah, I bought her a new harness over the weekend, and I've been taking her outside so she can chew on some grass. It's like her favorite hobby.
Chewing on grass?
Yeah.
Huh. Sounds like your favorite hobby.
I like to smoke grass.
Not too different. It's going in your body.
Like mother, like daughter.
Alright, chapter 37 is Brienne. Take it away!
Brienne, Pod, Sir Hyle, and Maribald are all traveling again, and they come upon hundreds of bodies hanging from trees. They are all rotted, and each one has a salt rock stuffed in their mouths.
What's it? Oh. Like a... Okay, a salt rock.
Yeah.
So, like, rock salt?
Yeah!
Okay. Okay, got
like it's
it.
big, since they can see it stuffed in their mouth.
Yeah.
As they travel through the corpses, Sir Hyle realizes that these must be the men who burnt down the salt pans.
Oh.
Brienne doesn't care who they are. She's more concerned about who killed them. She suspects that it was Beric Dondarrion and his merry men, as they're known for hanging people.
Okay.
And that would make sense with the salt rock stuffed in their mouths. Salt pans.
Okay.
They continue to travel through the corpses. When Pod and Maribald start discussing the inn that they're traveling to. We learn that they're heading to the Crossroads Inn. Maribald gives us some history of the inn, which apparently I didn't write down. He wrote down, he just gave us some history. I think we've talked about the Crossroads Inn a few times throughout this series of books, because
It sounds familiar.
it's an inn that keeps coming back.
Yeah.
I think it's the one where Tyrion is initially kidnapped by Catelyn. Lady with the leaf that she chews that turns her teeth dark. All that jazz. It's that. inn.
It's also the one where I think Arya and the Hound were at, where they came across the guy who had her sword.
What, is it that one too?
I think so.
It might have been the one where, like, they must have stopped there when they traveled with King Robert to the big city where the king lives.
King's Landing?
Yeah.
That also sounds right.
Yes, it's the inn.
It's the inn. It's the only inn.
Bran thinks back about when they were ferried to the salt pans, that all the survivors had fled, but not before burying their dead. Maribald had led them to the castle in hopes of seeking shelter, but they were shooed away. The Lord of the Salt Pans wanted nothing to do with them.
Right.
So when they arrive at the crossroads, they can hear a steady hammering, and they see a bunch of wild children running about.
What makes them wild?
The fact that they're kids running about.
Kids running wild.
Wild children! Sir Hyles calls to the kids and tells them to bring their mother. One of the kids runs off while another says that they have no mothers. The oldest girl demands who they are. So Maribald introduces them all.
Okay.
The girl introduces herself as Willow and asks if they want beds for the night. Brienne thinks so she must be around 10. So these are young children's.
Right.
Hyles says food and bed, yeah, and asks if she's the innkeep. Willow says that her sister Jane is, but she's not there.
Where's Jane?
Willow wants silver from them in exchange, but Hyles laughs at her and asks if she's trying to rob them. Willow basically tells him take it or leave it. Like there's no other inn, you gotta take it.
So is silver just like really expensive?
Yeah, I think inns are usually a few coppers.
Okay.
Willow sees Maribald's donkey and wants to know if they have food, because they have been living off horse meat for a while. Brienne notices that the hammering had stopped, and then Renly steps out from the stables.
Fucking Renly! But she doesn't know.
Renly!
Wait, who?
So she falls to her knee. No, Renly.
Oh, Renly!
She falls to her knee and confusingly asks, "My lord?
Yeah.
I thought you were dead." And he's just as confused. He's like, "I'm just a smith." What?
Why are you calling me my lord?
And when she looks at him closer, she sees that he is not Renly. He's younger, he's thicker, and he's not as kempt. But he has a lot of characteristics similar to Renly.
Oh,
like
I wonder who it is.
Dark hair and his dark eyes. But where Renly's eyes are full of laughter, his are angry and suspicious.
That's my kind of man. Angry.
Maribald tells him that they mean no harm. They just need a place to stay for the night. And that Masha Heddle used to house him.
Who?
I think maybe that was the old innkeep.
What was the name?
Masha Heddle.
Okay. I don't recognize that at all.
So the boy tells him that she was hanged by the lions. So I'm guessing she was the initial innkeep, the one with the stained teeth.
Right.
Brienne asks Willow if all the kids are her siblings. Willow tells her that the sparrows have been dropping them off. Or some have been finding their own way to the inn as orphans, so they're all orphans.
Wait, so why are the sparrows dropping them off?
I guess they just see a bunch of kids and like, oh, this must be a place to leave the kids. And dump them.
Why are they collecting kids?
I guess when they're making their rounds around the towns, they take the orphans and dump them at this orphan factory.
Okay.
Because they're like missionaries, right? The sparrows.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But valid. Well, I guess some missionaries come about it. Pardon?
Oh, yeah.
Marybald asks if they have rooms, and the boy says no, while Willow says yes. Willow angrily says that they have food, and the children are hungry. And I think she names him as Gendry.
Oh, does she?
At this point, yeah.
Okay. So it's Gendry! Wow! Why does he look like Gendry?
Gendry already being kidnapped by Melisandre? No. That was in the show, right?
That doesn't happen in the book.
Okay.
In the book, she tries to get,
Another bastard?
yeah, the little boy.
Okay. So Willow waves her hand, all bippity boppy boop, and all these kids scamper out from everywhere. Some brandishing weapons.
Say what?
like out from under the inn, out from under the carts, like everywhere. They're popping up from the rooftop. There's all these children fucking everywhere.
Damn.
And some of them have like crossbows and stuff.
Whoa!
Like they're ready to fight.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I wonder if Gendry, like, is the one who taught them.
Probably.
How to.
And Willow starts barking out orders, and they all start running around, getting the horses, prepping the rooms, snatching some food from the donkey. Who knows? Brienne and Pod take a room together, and Brienne tells Pod that she plans of getting up before dawn and ditching Sir Hyles and Marybald.
Thank God.
I think Marybald, I think, is planning to head into King's Landing, and she's just sick of Sir Hyles. She doesn't like him.
Oh, it's not just that. It's that he wants to capture the daughters to make money off of them.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, he wants the bounty himself.
Yes, so she's like, if I find them and he's still around, like, it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah. She'll kill him. Perhaps.
Probably.
They go down to the common room for supper, and the place is infested with children, like little spiders, just moving around everywhere over each other and all that jazz. She watches as Willow is barking orders to the kids, and she wonders if she's highborn since she's giving orders so natural. Like, she wonders if this is actually Arya Stark, as she seems to be the right age. So she's all like, is this Arya? Brienne joins Sir Hyles by the fire, where he reveals that he has no patience for kids.
Shocker.
Yeah, typical knight. Brienne has more compassion for the orphans, which gets her teased for being a soft woman. Oh yeah, insult her.
Well, prepare to get your ass kicked by that soft woman then.
Please. I want to see that.
Me too.
Then he suggests perhaps she wants a babe of her own and offers to put one in her.
Gross.
Yeah, she's like, ew, no. But Sir Hyles tells her that actually he wants her, or more like he wants Tarth. So he propositions her. He says marriage would be good for both of them, and his PP works as he has a bastard. So like, let's do this. Let's get married.
Jesus.
Brienne flushes and says her father is still young and can still get remarried and have a son, and that's Sir Hyles. Nah. And Sir Hyles is like, but that's a big if. Will he get married? We better for you to marry me.
Dope.
Brienne again is like, no way. And Sir Hyles insists that all women are the same in the dark, and she has kissable lips. He tells her to leave her door unlocked, and he'll show her that night.
Ew.
But she threatens to cut off his wiener if he does, and leaves him. The way he propositioned her is just so blunt and to the fact.
Yeah. It's like... maybe they're probably not, but like there would be more of a chance if he actually tried like romancing her, you know?
He's like, no, it'll be good for us.
Yeah. I wonder if that's just because she is Brienne, or if that's because that's how things worked back then.
Yeah, I think it's probably just highborn propositioning of like moving chess pieces. Like, this will be good for both of our names. It'll be good. Yeah. Plus, I don't mind Tarth. I can take that. It'll be good for me.
Yeah.
Then you'll have a baby and be a wife. Just what you've always wanted, right? You're just a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's your dream, right? Before they eat, Merbold wants to say a prayer. While everyone has their heads bowed, they notice that Gendry is just glaring with his arms crossed. When the prayer is finished, Merbold asks if he has no love for the gods. Gendry says, "Not for your gods," and then he leaves back to the forge. So they have porridge for supper, and the children devour it. Like a pack of wolves. Devour it! Like a pack of wolves. So they eat it, okay?
What does eat mean?
In your mouth. And then in your belly.
Ah!
Brienne suggests that someone should bring Gendry some food, and Sir Hiles is like, "You're someone." So she grabs some food and heads out to the forge. She watches him hammer out a sword for a bit before he notices her and demands what she wants. So she offers him the food and remarks that he must be from King's Landing from the way he speaks. I guess King's Landing folk have an accent or something.
Right.
So he's like, yeah. Perhaps so.
Okay.
No, yeah. So he's like, yeah, so what? And she asks about his parents. Upon learning that he is a bastard, she asks if he's ever seen King Robert, so she can see that too. She sees the resemblance.
Can tell.
Uh-huh. He tells her basically here and there, but not really, when they hear Maribald's dogs start barking. The dog named Dog, I'm pretty sure. So Brienne is up in arms when Gendry says that no, it's their friends coming. Brienne is suspicious of these friends. Yep. So she's like peeking out of the forge and she's counting them as they arrive and realizes that there are way too many of them. And then she sees the helm. You know the helm. The helm.
The helm. Holy shit.
Willow opens the door with a crossbow, but Brienne can't hear her over the rain. Did they mention that it's pouring frickin' rain? Because it's pouring frickin' rain. But she hears the man in the hound's helm. The helm. Threaten to rape her with the crossbow.
Jesus.
And then force her to eat her own eyeballs.
Oh my god. This man needs therapy.
There's actually 7 of them. And Brienne knows that she cannot take all 7. But she steps out anyway with Oathbreaker and tells the man that if anyone's going to be raped, it will be her.
What?
Yeah, she's like, rape me instead of kids.
Oh, jeez. Rape no one. No rape.
Yeah, please. How about leave? They face her as one. Some laugh. One speaks in a language she does not know. A giant one with weeping sores hisses. And the man in the hound's helm says that she's even uglier than he remembered and says he'd rather rape her horse.
Well, that's rude.
So I'm pretty sure these are the dudes that kidnapped her and Jaime back in the last book. The ones who were led by Big O. Holt? The goat? Vargo, Holt, the goat. It's the same crew.
Plus someone else?
The guy in the guy with the weeping sores? The one hissing?
Someone we know, right?
Bida? I'm pretty sure it's Bida.
Right, yeah.
Mr. Hiss.
And then the one in the helm, do we know who he is yet?
I don't.
Okay.
Maybe later I'll find it in the notes.
Okay. It's been so long since I've read this chapter, so...
Yeah.
I'm and then it's been... to remember.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've also, seen this crew as well, so, remembering them.
Right. But, I guess what I'm wondering is... I'll ask after.
Alright. So one of them tries to tell her to just give them their horses and food and their leave. But the one in the helm says no, he wants to cut her legs off and make her watch him rape the girl. And he draws his axe.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's nasty. Oh, yep, I know who it is now. Brienne asks with what? Actually, no, I don't know who this man is anymore.
Oh.
I was confused by this little blurb. Okay. Brienne asks with what that Shagwell told her that they cut off his manhood along with his nose in an effort to provoke him, and succeeds. And I wrote here like +10 charisma. I don't remember who this guy is.
I think it's Rorge.
Oh! So it's the two guys who were chained up together, right? Rorge and Biter?
Yeah, they were chained up
with Jack and Hagar.
So my question was, they were not originally with Fargo Hote's crew, right?
No.
Okay.
Where did they come from?
So I'm wondering, like, how they met up and decided to work together.
Like, they bumped into these two vicious animals and like, yes, join our group.
Right.
Fargo's not with us no more.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Why would Shagwell tell her they cut off his peen? I guess they must have known each other back then. Is Shagwell.
Wait, who is Shagwell again?
He was like part of that crew as well.
Okay.
Brienne killed him a few chapters ago.
When he attacked her?
When they went to that like abandoned castle in an attempt to find Sansa, and they were ambushed.
Right. Okay, I do remember that.
I don't quite remember who exactly, but I only remember him because of his dumbass name.
Shagwell?
Yeah.
Hey, my name's Shagwell, and I shag well.
Yikes.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so like they must have been a part of this crew, maybe on and off, or a different sex.
Honestly, we could stand here and speculate, but we'll probably never get it right.
I'll move on. He screams curses at her and charges.
Oh,
so Brienne, yeah. Brienne stands and waits for him.
Yeah, she does.
As he comes at her, and then sweeps Oathkeeper up and slashes his chest twice, cutting through his chainmail.
Whoa!
He continues screaming, calling her nasty names, and attacks her with his axe.
With his what?
X.
With his ex. Okay.
Yeah, his axe.
Does he call his ex first, or how's that work?
What? He attacks her with his axe.
Why would his ex do anything for him anymore?
A squeak?
You're so confused. Ex as in, like, ex-girlfriend?
Yeah. Alright. She doesn't have her shield, so she has to dodge the attacks. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
The rest of the gang are cheering on the guy with the helm. Rorge.
Rorge.
As they fight, Brianna remembers what Sir Goodwin had told her. Was that the priest in the island?
Fuck if I know, dude. Honestly, I'm starting to get on the... There's too many damn characters in this.
There's
train.
So many characters.
There's too many damn characters on this motherfucking book.
Series.
Yeah.
So Brianna remembers what Sir Goodwin had told her once that maybe... Nah, I'll move on.
Okay.
Had told her once that because she's a woman, men will always underestimate her, and because of their giant egos, they will want to kill her fast or else look weak, and to best them, let them tire themselves out. Good advice.
That is good advice.
So she
Who is
dances
this
from
guy?
the...
I like this guy.
Who is this? No, I'm wondering, like, that was her
Mentor or something?
men of arms, the arms guy at
Master
Tarth or
at
something.
Arms?
Master at Arms. I wonder if that was the dude.
You know what? That's what is going to be in my headcanon from now on.
Alright. So she dances from the man's attacks until he starts to slow. And then she moves around
I just want to point out that would not be a while. It would be very quick. Because he's wearing a full set of armor, right?
Yeah, and he's going at her hard.
Yeah, he's wearing
With an
chainmail. He's swinging an axe at her. And if you've ever watched boxing... I use boxing as an example because I've watched Creator Clash fairly recently.
Okay.
But men, especially like average sized men or larger, they get gassed so fast. Like within 30 seconds. They're exhausted. Whereas like if you watch the women's fights, they go like all 5 rounds and do not look any more tired by the end of it.
Oh. Hardcore.
Yeah. And it is like because like the larger muscles use up more energy and like that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is still very fascinating. So when it says she's like waiting for him to get tired, that would probably take like 30 seconds.
Yeah, not very long.
Yeah.
Okay. So she dances around his attacks until he starts to slow, then moves around so that he's facing the rain. And so, okay, so she spins them around, and he moves with her, and then has it so that he's facing the rain pouring, so it's pouring right in his face, and he can't see.
Oh, okay.
And she steps back a few paces. He charges her, and he starts to slide from the mud when she brings up Oathkeeper and impales him.
Fuck yeah.
The description is pretty graphic. It even describes the sound the blade makes scraping against his spine.
Ah!
It was pretty gnarly.
Oh god, let's hear it.
Oh, you want it? Oh, I didn't. I didn't write it. I'll find the chapter.
Well, you can't say this description's pretty gnarly and then move on.
Hey, some people don't want the description.
Give the people what they want.
Woo! Alright. His headlong charge brought him right onto her point. An Oathkeeper punched through cloth and mail and leather and more cloth, deep into his bowels and out his back, rasping as it scraped along his spine.
God damn, that's a good description, though.
Oh, yeah. It sounds gnarly.
That gave me the shivers.
So he dies pretty fast.
Yeah.
And then she's tackled by Biter, who is shrieking. When she hits the ground, her head hits a rock in the dirt, and Biter is on top of her, one hand pulling her hair back and the other on her throat. So once has her head being pulled back. She punches at his face and tears into his flesh, but it's like he does not feel it, and he just keeps smothering her. She tries to knee him in the groin, but it gets his stomach instead, and he rips a chunk of her hair out.
Jeez.
She remembers her dagger and begins to work her hand down to grab it. Biter starts smashing her head into the ground while strangling her, and she manages to grab the hilt and she slashes his belly. He lets go of her throat and smashes her face, cracking the bones.
What?
Yeah.
The bones of her face?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. He breaks her forearm with his knee and grabs her head and starts trying to rip it off her shoulders. Like he's has it and he's like ripping.
He's trying to rip her head off?
He's ripping her head off.
What the fuck?
Brienne hears men shouting in the background and the sounds of steel on steel, and she thinks Sir Harl must have joined in the fight. And I'm like, I doubt.
I don't think
press,
it's Sir Harl.
Press doubt.
Yeah, press B to doubt. I think that's what it is.
I personally suspect Pod would be the first in or Gendry.
Probably. You know what? I didn't consider Pod. My immediate thought was Gendry.
Yeah. I do think Gendry, but I also know that Pod is loyal AF.
Yeah, and he would probably like keep his eye on her as well, but I had Yeah, I had thought that he was just sitting inside, but he probably would have, like, poked his
Oh,
head
yeah, I
out.
think everyone would have their heads out when they hear the fighting.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's all the children swarming them.
It's like that argument, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses or something?
Oh my god.
Right?
Nice. So her world starts to darken and she watches as Biter bites into her cheek and rips it out, hardly feeling it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
No.
She feels that she cannot die yet, because there is still something that she needs to do, and she watches in horror as he chews and eats her cheek. He looks
fucking disgusting.
He looks up to the sky and howls, waving his bright red tongue back and forth, and then the darkness takes over. And that's that chapter.
Wait, no, there's a bit at the end.
It's a bit in the end. Back with the book.
There's like the final sentence or something that kind of gives you a clue. Gives you a clue about
Give me a clue.
I think it's the last sentence.
His tongue is a foot long, Brienne thought, just before the darkness took her. Why? It almost looks like a sword.
Yep. You know what that means.
Fucking gross. What does that mean?
Oh, it means... It means someone shoved their sword through the back of his head and out his mouth. Okay. I'm just like grossed out, but reading about him howling and waving his tongue in the air. I don't even pick up on this. No, yeah, she's like delirious, but...
Yeah.
He got stabbed in the face.
Sick! I mean, if it's Pod, it'd be Pod's second time saving his mentor.
I have a feeling it's Gendry, just because they need to, like, earn trust, you know, somehow, you know?
True. And I'm sure with Gendry seeing her just jump in there and fight for them, that he's, like, already, like, alright.
Yeah. He's like,
we're in the same team, bro.
Yeah.
I trust you now. Man, she's gonna be healing in that inn for a while.
Yeah, that sounds... Her whole, like, all the bones in her face are broke.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like, she has a chunk of her cheek missing now. Oh my god.
Her forearm is snapped, too.
Oh, fuck.
Like, he really fucked her up.
Damn.
This Biter. Man.
Well, now he's fucked up.
I remember reading earlier that the fight between her and the Hound never happened, like it did in the show. It was her and Biter, so I knew it was coming.
Oh.
But no, it was this nasty. Because this was nasty.
And honestly, when you look back at the fight between her and the Hound in the show, it's pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, it's not like brutal like this. Like, it's fun to watch. It's intense, but this is just horrifying. This is nasty.
Oh yeah, this is way more of a, let's say, interesting fight.
Yeah.
The one in the show is honestly, like, it's poorly cut together, and, like, the actors were clearly the ones who were doing all the fighting, and they don't know how to make fighting look good, so it's all the...
They were average. They're good acting, not fighting.
Yeah. That's why you need stunt people.
Yeah. I was telling a coworker I was reading these books, and she, like, seemed interested, like, 'cause she needs a new book series, and she loves fantasy, and she's like, I want to read this, but I know her, and I warned her. I was like, actually, you're not going to like these books. You had a hard time watching the show.
Oh, the books are worse.
Are brutal. Like, you have no idea. They didn't give any, like, the specific descriptions. It's very off, very, it's so much worse, and the actor, like, the characters are so much younger. And then she's like, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know. We're jumping in.
But if she wants like a third person read of it, she can listen to our podcast. Did you sell her on the podcast?
Yeah. I did not.
Wow. Wow. Opportunity lost.
You could have had a new listener.
Oh well. Alright, so that is that chapter?
Yeah, that's Brienne.
Hey everyone, just a quick aside. We just became affiliates of Buzzsprout, which is the hosting platform we use for our podcast. If you are interested in creating your own podcast, please consider using Buzzsprout. It made it easy to get our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and dozens of other streaming platforms. They also provide you with a podcast website, detailed analytics to see how your episodes are performing, and tons of guides on how to improve your listenability. And if you follow our link in the episode description, you will get a $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for a paid plan, and it helps support our show. Thank you. Back to the episode.
We have time for Jaime?
We do have time for Jaime.
Well,
we are at 45 minutes, but I did pretty good with summarizing this one, I think. So it shouldn't be too long.
Let's do it.
All right, let me put on my reading voice.
Ooh.
Chapter 38 is Jaime.
Jaime.
Okay. It's just about to start. Jaime Lannister meets Sir Brynden Tully on the drawbridge of the castle. Jaime thanks him for coming, but the Blackfish gets straight to the point. He says he assumes Jaime has returned to fulfill the oaths he swore Catelyn, which was to return her 2 daughters. Jaime has to admit he doesn't have them, but tries to move on. He starts to say that they will spare Edmure if the Blackfish hands over the castle, but the Blackfish interrupts him. Brynden Tully says his nephew is marked for death no matter what he does, so hang him and be done with it. Edmure must be as wary of standing on those gallows as the Blackfish is of seeing him there. Which makes Jaime think that Ryman Frey is a bloody fool for putting Edmure on the gallows every night, and not actually hanging him. Jaime offers to trade Edmure for the Westerlings, but the Blackfish does not trust him, and says the king's queen was left in his care, so he will not hand her over. Jaime offers to let the people of Riverrun stay and serve Lord Emmon if they want, or be free to go after surrendering their arms and armor. Blackfish says they'll be set upon by outlaws. Jaime says he will allow the Blackfish to take the Black, but the Blackfish does not trust the current Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
So?
Jon Snow, yeah.
Huh.
Because Catelyn did not trust him.
Oh.
Yeah, so I guess that's all that Brynden Tully knows about Jon Snow, is that Catelyn didn't like him.
Yeah.
Jaime then tries to threaten him, saying they will storm the castle and hundreds will die. But the Blackfish says thousands of Jaime's men will die. The longer they talk, the more Jaime realizes this is not going well. Jaime tries to reason with him, saying defiance serves no purpose. The war is done and the young wolf is dead, but the Blackfish points out the Stark banner still flying above their walls. Jaime says the people of Riverrun will run out of supplies, but the Blackfish tells them that they have more than they do in the field. Jaime then challenges him to single combat, but Brynden just laughs. Frustrated, Jaime asks if there are any terms the Blackfish will accept, but he says no. He only came to meet with Jaime to see his stump and fend off his boredom by listening to whatever excuses Jaime cared to offer up. I did want to point out that what's happening here is Jaime trying a bunch of different ways to convince the Blackfish, which was something that was brought up in my creative writing classes.
Oh, what?
Something that was brought up in my creative writing classes was that, like, if one of your characters is trying to get something from another character, they need to be trying different ways to get that thing versus, like, trying the same thing over and over, which amateur writers tend to write.
Yeah. Give an example of someone writing the same thing over and over. Style?
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was happening here in this case, it would just be Jaime, like, threatening the Blackfish over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, like, I'll cut off your nose. I'll cut off your hand.
Okay.
I'll burn your castle. I'll blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if this doesn't work once, it's not going to work the next 10 times. So.
Yeah.
So you need your character to try other things. Otherwise, it's just, like, not interesting. Plus,
cool.
If it doesn't work the first time, but it does work the 10th time, then that's not convincing for your reader either.
No.
If they're trying the same thing.
Yeah.
But in this case, like, Jaime starts by trying to offer a trade. First Edmure and then the Westerlings. When neither of those work, then he tries the threats. And when that doesn't work, he tries to reason with him, saying, like, you know, it's smarter for you to give up. And then when that doesn't work, he challenges him to single combat. And then when that doesn't work...
I doubt Jaime would live.
Yeah, he knows that he wouldn't. But he's also, like, fighting his pride at the same time.
Oh.
Because the Blackfish is, like, insulting him this whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hope that makes sense. Just a quick visit at riding school with Raven. Jaime turns his horse around and leaves. Back at camp, he immediately assembles a war council. He remembers that his father would always let his captains speak first, so he starts by asking how they should proceed. Lord Emmon says they should hang Edmure Tully to teach Brynden Tully a lesson and perhaps move him to yield. Carol Vance does not think this will work. Sir Davin says they have to storm the walls, but Lord Emmon says they are his walls and his gate that King Tommen himself granted.
Fuck up.
This guy is so annoying.
Right.
Adam Marbrand proposes they send 12 men across the river at night to scale the walls and open the gates from the inside. Walder Rivers says that Sir Brynden won't be cozened by such tricks. I don't know what that means. Cozened. Let's see.
Cousin.
Okay. That means, like, to trick or deceive. Okay. Cozened, yeah.
Huh.
Cozen.
Oh, Zed? Okay.
Edwin Frey proposes they move their siege towers close, feign an attack upon the gates, and then when Sir Brynden shows himself, have the archers let loose. Strongbow says he will challenge the Blackfish to single combat, but Sir Forley Prester asks why he would ever accept that challenge. And it goes around like this for a while until the council is arguing and insulting each other's families. Lord Piper demands to know what has become of his son, who was a guest at the Red Wedding. But the Freys who are present counter with insults and threats. Jaime decides he's heard enough and dismisses the council, saying they will attack at first light. Lord Emmon and Lady Jenna linger. When everyone else is gone, Emmon tells Jaime he must not allow this assault on his seat to happen. He forbids it.
Kick his ass.
Yeah, honestly, put this guy in his place. He says he is the lawful lord of Riverrun, but Lady Jenna says he is not so long as Edmure Tully lives. She asks Jaime what he means to do about that. Jaime says to leave Edmure to him. He takes Sir Lyle and Sir Ilyn with him to the gallows, where he sees Sir Rymon's pavilion a little ways away, and hears the sound of a woman singing in the tent. He also sees Walder Rivers watching him closely, and Jaime thinks Walder Rivers is more dangerous than any of his true-born brothers. 2 spearmen at the foot of the gallows tell Jaime that he can't go up without Sir Rymon's leave. Jaime points at his sword and says it says he can go up. The question is whether he will need to step over the spearman's corpse. And they step aside. I wonder if they actually feel threatened by Jaime, or if they're like, he's a cripple, step aside. Let him by.
It's like a respect thing.
Yeah, like, do you think they actually feel threatened by him at this point?
I think, like, they definitely know he's missing a hand. So it's like more like they're not sure if he's still like the same Jaime, I think. Like they don't want to test him because he used to be so formidable.
Right, so they're
but at the same time they're kind of like, but is he though? Is he? Hey,
that makes sense to me.
Does he fight good now?
Can he use his left hand?
Is he? Don't want to test it.
Just in case.
At
the top of the gallows, Edmure is filthy and surprised to see the Kingslayer. He's also standing with a noose around his neck. He sees Ilan's sword and tells him to do it. Jaime tells Sir Ilan to obey Lord Tully, so Ilan steps forward and lifts his blade and slashes it down. Just as Edwin Frey comes panting into view, shouting for them to stop. He says his father is on his way. Sir Ryman approaches with his lady friend, and Jaime tells him this business with Lord Edmure is stupid. Ryman says he gave the Blackfish warning, telling him Edmure will die unless the castle is yielded. And so Jaime asks if, when the Blackfish refused, Lord Ryman hung Lord Edmure, which makes Sir Ryman seem embarrassed. He says his grandfather has, done this before and it worked, but he can't kill Edmure or they'll have no hostage. And, yeah, so I think what happened was Sir Ryman had heard stories about his grandfather doing this threat and it worked. And so he thought it would work this time. But when it didn't work the first time, he kept trying it over and over, thinking that would help, and it did not.
Definition of insanity.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, let's see. Jaime tells him only fools make threats they aren't prepared to carry out. Ryman starts to tell Jaime he doesn't understand, but Jaime backhands him with his golden hand.
Ooh.
He asks Ilan how many strokes to get through Ryman's thick neck. But Ryman cries out that he's done nothing and he's the heir to the crossing.
Are you?
I guess so? Yeah. Okay. Jaime dismisses him, tells him to go tells him to go to hell. What's wrong with me? Tells him to go to hell or home. Jaime then gives Ryman's command to his son Edwin, telling him not to be as stupid. And then he has Edmure brought down from the gallows. So, they didn't kill Edmure, they just cut the noose.
Oh!
Yeah.
Man, when I read it, I thought he was dead.
Nah, they just cut the noose.
Okay.
So he has Edmure brought down, and he calls over a singer from the crowd that's gathering around them.
Okay.
As they're walking back to Jaime's tent, Edmure asks Jaime why. Jaime thinks that a Lannister pays his debts, but tells Edmure to consider it a wedding gift. So would this be a debt to Catelyn? Is this what Jaime's thinking?
Perhaps, because didn't he swear never to lift arms against her family?
Mm-hmm. But if he let someone else kill Edmure, would that count as taking up arms against the Tullys?
Maybe he'll look around for ways to get out of it by having others do it.
Right.
So I don't think he can completely ignore his duties.
No, but he's definitely looking for, loopholes,
Yeah.
Jaime says Edmure's new wife must be mighty pretty for Edmure to bed her while his sister and king were being murdered. Edmure says he didn't know and they made Rosalind do it. She's also carrying his child. Jaime thinks no, that's Edmure's death she's carrying. He has a bath drawn for Edmure, clean clothes brought out, and some food and wine. He then sits in the room while Tully has his tub. Jaime says when Edmure is finished, he will escort him back to Riverrun. Jaime says that the Blackfoot has no bride or children. A good death is all that remains for him. Edmure, however, has years remaining, and he is the rightful lord of House Tully. The fate of Riverrun is in his hands. Okay. This is where I was like, oh, okay, Jaime, I see what's happening here. Jaime tells Edmure to yield the castle and no one dies. Sir Brynden will be allowed to take the Black, as well as Edmure if that appeals to him. and as many of the garrison can choose to as well. Or Edmure can go to Casterly Rock with his wife and child and live a lavish life, and Jaime will make sure his child is taken care of.
Casterly Rock?
Casterly Rock.
I want to hear more about this plan. What do you mean?
I guess they just like live there as guests, I think is the idea.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Edmure asks what happens if he doesn't yield. Jaime tells him that they will bridge Edmure's moat and take his gate, and hundreds will die. Edmure's former bannermen will be the first wave of attackers, so he will start his day by killing the fathers and brothers of men who died for him at the Twins. When the castle falls, everyone inside will be put to the sword. Edmure's herds will be butchered, the god's wood felled, the keeps and towers burned. By the time Jaime is done, no man will ever know a castle once stood there. And Rosalind may give birth to Edmure's child before the end. Jaime suspects Edmure will want to see his child, so he will send the babe to him when it's born, with a trebuchet.
With a trebuchet?
Damn!
What's that again?
It's like it's the catapult, but with a...
What?
with the, like... It's the more powerful one that kind of whips it.
What the hell? Like fling the baby at him? Or
yeah.
Fling the baby... Oh my god.
He's saying he will send Edmure's child to him with a trebuchet.
OMG.
That's fucking hard, dude. That's hard as fuck, Jaime. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime wonders if his aunt would still say Tyrion was Tywin's son.
Oh.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this speech of his.
Yeah.
It's pretty convinced. I mean, I'm convinced. Edmure says he could get up right now and kill Jaime where he stands.
Okay.
Jaime says he could try. When Edmure makes no move to rise, Jaime tells the singer to play for Edmure. He knows what song. Yep. Edmure says, no, get this man away from me, but Jaime says, his voice can't be that bad.
Initiate trauma.
Yup. So, I think we know he's leaving the singer to play the Reigns of Castamere, which would obviously mean a lot more to Edmure now than it ever did before.
Yeah.
As it played when his family was butchered.
Yep.
And that's that chapter.
Nice. Okay. Okay. How many more Jaimes do we get? One more.
Oh, shit.
We have one more Brienne and one more Jaime.
After this, I'm pretty excited to see what happens
Yeah.
with River Run. Because now, Jaime is smart. He knows he can't get to the Blackfish. He just tried, and nothing worked. So he's going to try to get to Edmure, and then send Edmure back, so that Edmure can take over again.
Oh, yeah.
That's some big brain moves right there.
Yeah, he can no longer use his fists to get his way. Now he has to actually use his brain.
Mm-hmm. Just like his dad and just like Tyrion.
And it turns out he has a brain.
He does have a brain. He has potential.
It's working.
Yes. Yes.
Dang.
Alright, any thoughts on this chapter before we end it?
I'm very proud.
Yeah.
Good for you, Jaime.
Yeah.
Even though I don't agree with murder. Good for you, Jaime.
It also doesn't break his oath that he made to Catelyn doing this. So it's like extra smart.
Oh.
Because if he sends Edmure back and gets Edmure to just give up the castle, Jaime hasn't taken up arms against the Tullys at all. They gave it up.
True.
Some big brain moves. I'm also impressed.
Dang. I noticed that he was also comparing himself to his papa. And I'm like thinking like, damn, these kids.
Oh yeah.
Because they have a lot of drama. And they're constantly like, would papa be proud? Would my daddy be proud? Oh my god.
Well, Jaime never thought that shit until his aunt said that he was not Tywin's son.
Yeah, he probably just assumed his whole life that he was Tywin's number 2.
Number
and then getting
one.
told, oh yeah, number 1.
Yeah.
And then being told, like, actually,
it's not you at all.
Dumb.
You're just a fucking meathead.
Yeah, like, you're cute, but you dumb.
Mm-hmm. You're a pretty face. You can fight well. That's all you're good for.
Yeah. And knocking up your sister.
God. Oh, anyway, yeah. So, that's why I'm so excited to see if Jaime's plan works. Or will Edmure be smart enough to go back and just not give up the castle?
He's a broken man. I don't have high hopes for him.
Plus, there's his wife and his child, or
his babe.
Yeah. So they have his wife and his child, so it's kind of hard for him to not save them, I'm assuming.
Want to choose the castle.
Yeah. But then it's like, if he gives up the castle, that's the end of... That's
your family.
That's the end of the Tullys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. There's no coming back once you give it up.
That's true. You gotta choose.
Yeah. Plus, like, would the Blackfish even let Edmure give it up if that's what he wanted? I can picture the Blackfish physically stopping Edmure from doing that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But hard to say, because, like, if Edmure returns, he's the rightful lord. He could order all the guards there to, like...
Yeah.
Get rid of the Blackfish, you know?
He could.
This is exciting! This was a good chapter. It felt, like, concise and to the point. Nothing wasted in this one.
Yeah, we just gotta wait till the end before this shit gets real.
Yeah. It does feel like things are tightening up here at the end, which is good.
Yeah. Finally! I've rated this whole novel for this.
Yeah, how far are we into it right now? We are about...
A good 3/4, probably more than that.
Yeah, probably more than 3/4. Alright. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for this episode.
Cool.
If you liked it, hit that like button.
Whoa, it says YouTube?
Subscribe. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars only.
Follow
us.
Come back.
What can you do on Spotify? Can you like something on Spotify? No?
Follow.
That's it?
Yeah. Or download. Download this episode.
Stream and download.
Do it.
Rate us. All the things.
Alright, thanks to our patrons. Tobias. Eric.
King.
Eric. Okay. King?
King?
Are you trying to confuse me?
No.
Sir? Eric? Jake? Bahram?
Boss ass bitches. Thank you. Alright. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast or follow us individually. My handle is Crimby and Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we will show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of the episode, and he makes some really cool music. That's Bahram. You can also find him on Spotify as Bahrambient. That's Bahrambient. And please check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, including outtakes, BTS stuff, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he absolutely hates. So it makes for some fun discussions/arguments. Finally, if you would be willing to share the podcast with your family and your friends, it would be a huge help to us to grow the podcast. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time for who?
Cersei and the Princess in the Tower.
Huh?
Oh.
Who is that? Who?
Remember the beginning of the book? Our listeners, it was like so long ago when we first started the book.
You know what? I do remember the beginning. It was an old town, right?
Holy shit! Because I don't.
Yeah, it was an old town. Well, if you want to remember what happened in Old Town, join us next time. We'll talk about it then.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Let the win. Let the win.
Okay, thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Adios.